coming in hot, change on a Monday. What's going on, brother?
On a Monday, I got coffee. I make this coffee this morning, and there's like different settings where you can hit like how strong it is. So it's like 6, 8, 10. By mistake, I hit the 6. So it's like I've had like 8 espressos this morning. So I'm bouncing off the walls in my house.
Wait, what's a 10 like? What if you go to 10? Is it
10's like a nice cup of coffee. It's like 10 is like lower amount of concentration.
Oh, okay.
So the smaller the number, the more concentrated it, like the more hardcore the coffee is.
Okay, so you're just gonna be like freaking
I'm
shot out
bouncing.
of a cannon the rest of the day.
I know. I gotta get shot out of a cannon. What do you got going on? What are you looking for?
Dude, I got
You're on a scavenger
first
hunt
off,
right now.
Let me talk about my coffee. You know, I go like that. I go the grass-fed butter. Dude, my coffee's like a science project every morning. Collagen, MCT oil. I use Laird Hamilton's creamer.
Oh my god!
I just load it all up, blend it up, and
Dude,
bam.
there's this one NFL draft prospect. I'm forgetting his name. He puts mayonnaise in his coffee.
Oh.
I'm forgetting his name, but it's like people are like it's like red flags. It's like don't draft a guy that puts mayonnaise in his coffee. That's a good rule to live by.
Don't draft a guy who puts mayonnaise in his coffee.
But wait, aren't you on a scavenger? What's that?
Are you using Hellman's or
That's a good question. Is there anything other than Hellman's? I don't think I would ever use anything other than Hellman's. Would you?
Oh yeah, my mom used to get something Hellman's and there was something else too. There was another one. It was 2 of them. I'm like, I'll take whatever. But Hellman's was always the best. Dude.
Hellman's is always the best.
On a ham and cheese sandwich late night on a Friday night with your buddies playing Madden. Let's go.
I love that. I love that too much. Anyway, what are you looking for? Firewood? What you start explaining?
Dude, well, I'm doing a little bit. I'm changing the fireplace in the one room. I want more of like a lodge. You know what I mean? A lot of my house has like barn wood and all that stuff, but this one room doesn't. So I'm going to get like a bunch of barn wood. I'm gonna wrap some of the posts and like just put it on the walls and stuff. But dude, that stuff's expensive. I don't know if you've seen barn wood lately, like how expensive it is.
No.
So Jason Grilly, dude, literally lives on a farm like about 30 minutes from me. He was talking to me the other night. He's like, dude, I got a bunch of barn wood. I was like, bro, can I have some of that? So I got a buddy. I went out there recently, looked at it. Grilly's got unbelievable barn wood. So I went out there to look at it, and then I got a buddy of mine that's going to go help me go out and pick it up. But dude, you got to like kiln the wood or something. You got to like
kiln?
Yeah, I think it's called kiln the wood. Yeah, you got to like take the wood, put it in this kiln, which heats it up and kills all the bugs in it. So you're not putting like, barn wood in your house and the freaking potato bug comes out and it's like, hey, what's going on? We got 8,000 potato bugs in the wood. So you got to kiln this wood first. So I didn't think it was going to be, I thought I was just going to go to Jason Grilly's, pick up the wood and start putting wood on my walls. Turns out, everything takes more than you think and everything, I guess.
Grills kind of looks like a lumberjack sometimes, especially when he wears those big plaid shirts and he's such a huge guy. He looks like Paul Bunyan, man.
He is, dude. You should go see his, like, he's, got the bobcat going. He's putting a pool in his house doing it by himself. I'm like, dude, me and Chinch, we hire guys to come take care of the pool. We don't build the pool ourselves.
No, not at all. I'm looking at kiln wood right now. This stuff's not cheap, man.
Yeah.
Dude. Some at $1,450 for 24 by 4 by 16.
That's what I'm saying, dude. He's going to save me thousands of dollars by taking his wood and killing it myself.
It's good wood. All right, good. All right, speaking of good wood, we had some good baseball being played.
Yeah, I knew that's where we were going. Speaking of good wood.
Yeah, who do we want? Who has the best wood right? Let's go Bellinger right now because I want to start with Bellinger because I'm really upset by something I saw the other night. Goes back to the L.A. He's getting a standing ovation. Strike! What was that, man? Come on.
Dude, it's one of those things in life where you're like, bro, have a feel. You know what I mean? Like sometimes you never do that. Like, bro, have a feel, like who you're talking to. Have a feel of the situation. You know what I mean? Like, it's even with umpires sometimes when they like, they'll throw a guy out. The guy throws a curveball up and in, and, there was a warning. They throw him out. You're like, all right, dude, have a feel. You threw a curveball. Yeah. Like, don't throw him out. So same thing with the umpire here. Bellinger goes back to L.A., all the home runs he's hit, all the world championships, all that he's meant to that city and that team, they give him a standing ovation, and the umpire comes out and is like, strike one.
Yeah, you know what that...
Have a feel, dude.
Have a feel. That's like a cop giving you a speeding ticket for going 63 in a 60. Like, come on.
Yeah, dude, like clean it up. Clean it up.
But
That's like a cop giving you one going 68 and a 60, even
Yeah.
8 miles an hour.
Yeah.
You know, don't give me a little more.
yeah, exactly. As long as you keep it under the 10 mile per hour, you're safe. I want to always be the second fastest guy on the road, not the fastest guy on the road. That's what my dad used to tell me. That's bad
By the way,
advice.
on another note, before we get back to Bellinger, speaking of that, one of my buddies is one of the head cops around here. I said, hey, how do I get out of a ticket if I ever get one? He's like, your only chance of getting out of a ticket is to be nice, be kind, and kind of admit you're wrong. He goes, that's your only chance. If you come out guns a-blazing to the cop, guaranteed ticket and points. So
Yeah.
just some pointers out there
Yeah.
for all of us.
And here's another thing. You're kind of a celebrity. The worst thing I've ever seen celebrities do is when they go, "Do you know who I am?" That
it's the
is
worst.
an automatic ticket. That's an automatic
It's an
cuff. If yes, I would cuff somebody. I'm like, yeah, I know who you
That's
are.
an automatic. You're going to jail.
Yeah, drunk tank or something.
No, seriously, nothing worse than that. They don't even know who I am. It's like,
Yeah. But anyway, all right. So the Cubbies, man, they're hanging in there. Again,
the Cubbies are playing well, man. They really
8-6.
are. Listen, I think the biggest piece that they've gotten is Dansby Swanson. I mean, just the way he plays, the pedigree he brings, the chemistry that he builds with those guys, the leadership he has that he brings from Atlanta. Guy, remember, don't forget, the guy plays every day. He played 162 last year, over the last few years. This guy plays every day. He goes to the post, he's making some great plays defensively, swinging the bat well, and it trickles down. Bellinger's swinging the bat the best he's swung it, at least getting out the gates in the last few years. And you're starting to see him hit for some power. He had a big game-winning hit the other night. It would be great to see Bellinger go to another level, man. It's been tough to watch him these last few years because, this was a guy that won the MVP only a few years ago. So to see him getting after it is great. Wisdom's got 6 bombs, I think. Haps swinging the bat well. Nico Horner, is great up the middle with Swanson. They've been pitching really well. Tyon's been pitching well. So
Yeah, I'll give you another.
Their signings have been good, Chin.
Sneaky, great signing so far. How about Marcus Stroman, bro?
Yeah, dude. Marcus Stroman.
6 innings
dominating.
pitched, 3 games. He's pitched 6 innings in every one. 5 hits, 2 hits, 3 hits. He's only given up 2 earned runs, 2 walks, 6 Ks, 6 Ks, 8 Ks. You know what I think too? A guy like Stroman, who's a very emotional type player, I gotta think that sometimes it helps to go to that. Okay, now I'm in Chicago. I'm in a big organization. Like he did well with the Mets when he was there. He's in New York. Go to a big market where the fan base is like kind of a loving fan base. He's a very rah-rah type guy. He pitched so great in the WBC last time around, not this one, but the one before, because, he likes the energy, and there's no bigger energy than going to a Cubs game at Wrigley, So,
Oh, dude, no, I totally agree. I tell you what, Stroman has been around the block. I love his swagger, dude. I love Stroman's swagger. I love the way, he talk about throwing the ball with conviction. I mean, this guy believes in himself, believes in what he's doing out there, and he wants to dominate. And I love the way Stroman goes about his business and having that little edge, man. Having a guy on your team that has a little edge like that, you love that as a teammate. When he's taking the mound every 5th day, you're gonna get something special.
yeah, and there's also the other thing you want in somebody with that kind of swagger is accountability, and he's always been like, I sucked today. He'll tell you, I'm the best pitcher on a mound today, but when he sucks, he sucks. So I think that he's got the right demeanor for a big city like Chicago. Now,
I agree, dude. He's tough mentally. I love it.
Now let's go to the west side of town. I mean, all right, let's talk Angels and Padres. Where do you want to go first? Because there's a lot to talk about.
Let's talk Angels.
Okay. Yeah. Are we back to saying they're not going to make the playoffs and it's going to ruin everything? Like, damn it. What's your take?
Well, what are they, 8-9?
Yeah.
It just frustrates me when especially coming off the WBC. You see Ohtani and Trout. They're the 2 best players in the world. They're on the same team, and this is what you think of the Angels. They're a 500 team, or maybe
Right.
a little less than 500. And like I said, you'd like to see them get on a roll and get things going. Tyler Anderson, one of their big signs for the offseason, looks like he's been getting shelled a little bit in that rotation. You just feel like when you look at the rotation, man, are they going to be good enough to compete out there in the West? And I think that's the biggest key. Do they have enough firepower on the mound
Yeah.
to compete where they can get Ohtani and Trout to the playoffs before they split? They part ways.
And think about it too. You have Ohtani, okay? So you have an ace who can match up against the Garrett Coles that we're going to talk about and all the other guys. Go get that second arm. Like, I don't know. There's something. If you've been a middling team for years, I have no problem with selling your soul for a year to try. Especially, Trout's can't be happy with this. Ohtani, everybody's talking about, Dodgers, Mets, Padres. Like it's a foregone conclusion. We'll show these guys who want them to win and stay. Give me something. Make some moves.
Yeah.
Do something a little crazy. I mean, the Rendon signing, I think, is the one thing that's kind of screwed them in the last couple of years because he hasn't lived up to that contract by far.
$240 million. That's a tough one.
Yeah. So I guess I should apologize because they did kind of go for it by signing him, but it was like, is it better to sign him or was it better to sign 2 or 3 pitchers?
Yeah, I think they're having trouble landing pitchers. I don't know. I know they went after Cole big time, and they gave him it was a ton of money. I think he just ended up signing with the Yankees.
Yeah.
But I don't know. When I look at that, like I said, it just frustrates me so bad because and here's the question, Chich. At the deadline, if they're around 500, are you moving Ohtani?
Whoa.
Or are you waiting until the offseason to be like, if we want to sign him back, we don't want to ruffle feathers, so we're going to wait, and then you get nothing. Because if you get rid of Ohtani, if you're out of it and you get rid of Ohtani at the deadline, you're getting a haul back.
What are you getting?
You're getting a haul back. You're getting a couple big league ready guys, and you're getting some top prospects.
I would just be like, all right, just sign over your AA roster. Just sign it over. I'll give you Ohtani. Give me your AA Binghamton roster, and we'll call it an even deal. Like,
right?
Yeah. I mean, first of all, if you trade Ohtani, you have to have. I think you get a mix of everything. You got to get draft picks. You got to get your top prospects, and you got to get MLB players. I would want at least one of each. Maybe like your second best player, your best prospect, and your number 1 draft pick next year. I might pull the trigger on that if I know I'm
you
losing
want to get a
Ohtani.
haul back. I think the only thing, though, that's different than like the Juan Soto trade. Juan Soto is a couple years away from free agency. So you got 5 or 6 of the top prospects of the Nats from Juan Soto because they still had control for, I think, 3 years.
Right.
2 or 3.
Yeah, it was a couple. It was enough that it was like you have them.
2.5 years.
Yeah.
2.5 years, right? Well, with Ohtani, he's a free agent after this year. So you might not get back what you got for Juan Soto, but you're still going to get something good back because you're not going to have control after the few months you get him at the deadline.
Yeah. All right. Now, let's stay out west, man. The Padres, you mentioned Soto. They're getting Tatis. Tatis has hit like 100 home runs in the minor leagues since he's done his rehab assignment. You call it rehab, suspension assignment. He's coming back. They are
soon.
Yeah, they are just an anomaly these past couple of seasons. I mean, what's your take on where they're at?
I think Tatis being back is going to really help that lineup. But, Bogarts has been the one guy that's been on fire in that lineup. I mean, he's been a great sign, hitting for power, hitting for average, hitting doubles, driving in runs. Tatis is going to be huge. Yeah. Tatis is going to be huge back in that lineup. I look at Soto again, dude. I'm just like, all right. Like, don't forget what we saw last year is like, hey, this guy, is this a $400, $500 million player? I don't know. Like,
yeah.
Juan Soto, I got to see a guy like Juan Soto, if I'm trading 5 or 6 of my top prospects, I need superstar production.
Right.
I need Aaron Judge production. I need home runs, driving and runs. I don't need, walks or anything like that. Yeah. I need a guy that's going to be top of the line guy. So I'm wondering, you're just wondering, looking at Juan Soto, did something go wrong with his swing in the last couple of years? Because listen, man, I've been there before. Sometimes you just lose that feel where you're like, oh man, I'm so dominant. The next thing you know, you lose something where you just can't quite get it back to that elite player. Juan Soto to me right now is a little above average player. Maybe obviously not a little above average. That guy's an above average big league.
Right, but
I need him to be a superstar though.
Right.
I need him to be a superstar in that lineup.
Yeah, and I'll add to that. First of all, take a deep breath and you're lucky because usually at this time of year, the Dodgers are the ones boat racing everybody. But that division, nobody's playing great. The D-backs are 9-7. Dodgers are 8-8. Padres 8-9. So, I mean, you can still it's not like that AL East where, one team goes 14-0. The Red Sox are trying to bust out of the bottom of the bracket already. They got a chance to right the ship, and you're getting Tatis back. And they do have good pitching. I mean, they have everything you need to win that division, or at least compete with the Dodgers to win that division. I look at Soto, it's like the Votto thing, man. Votto, changed his game. I don't know, maybe, like you said, something gets in your head or something physically happens. You never know. He's a growing boy. He's still real young. Soto,
what are his numbers right now?
Soto?
Numbers. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure he's hovering around 200.
Hold on.
Because we said the same thing last year. When's he going to get it? He's going to get it going. He's going to get it going. Never did.
He never did.
He never got it going.
Whoa, here we go. You ready? He's hitting a $172 with a 3.51 on base, 3.79 slugging. He has 3 homers, only 7 ribbies. 16. This is it though. He's leading the league in walks. He's got 16 walks.
Yeah, but I don't care.
Exactly.
I can get a lot of guys that can walk for me. I need guys that can hit the ball at the park. I need guys that can go. I mean, I'm sorry. Listen, the comp that I have, Christian Yelich in 2018, 2019, we were saying he's the best player outside Mike Trout. He might be taking over as the best player in the Big East besides Trout. Where's Christian Yelich gone in the last 3 years? I mean, just something happened with the swing, something happened with the approach. I don't know if it was an injury. I know he had some back problems, maybe knee. Like Soto, I kind of think the same thing. How much of a sample size do you need to say, hey, what happened to Juan Soto's swing, or where's the driving the ball at the ballpark?
Right.
Because it was with Joey Votto was one of the best players, and then. Obviously he was getting older and he was, 400 on base, all that stuff, but he wasn't driving in runs. He wasn't hitting for homers. But then he did a couple of years ago. He kind of let that approach go when he said, I'm swinging from the heels first pitch. And he hit 35 homers, didn't he, a couple of years ago?
Yeah.
Incredible. I think in 2021. So, it's definitely could become an approach thing too, a process how you're doing it. But Juan Soto has to be a superstar, dude. I'm not saying Juan Soto's not a really, really good player. But he's got to be a superstar for what the Padres gave up to get him.
I totally agree. 2021, he had 313. Here's the thing. He had 145 walks then, but he also had 29 home runs and 95 RBIs. I still want less walks, and I still want more. What about the couple years before? Okay.
2019.
2019. That was the guy. 282. Yeah. I'll take 282 when I'm getting 34 and 110. See, 108 walks that year as compared to 145 2 years later. 401 on base, 548 slugging, 949. And then in 2020, his OPS, he led baseball with a 1.185. That's what you need out of that guy, right? Yeah.
And I don't mind the walks, dude. I don't mind the walks.
Right.
But you got to expand the zone sometimes and drive me in some runs and hit the ball at the ballpark. I'm sorry. That's just, if you're going to get paid $40 million a year, I'm not, if you're going to want to get paid $12 million a year, all right, we could do that. If you want to get paid $40 million a year and you're the best player, one of the best players in baseball, what did he turn down? He turned down $400 million, right? Am I right?
Mm-hmm.
He turned down $400 million or close to it from the Nats.
Yep.
Thinking, no, I need more. I don't know, man. That's a tough one. If he doesn't get going here, that's going to be that would have been a bad decision.
Here's the thing though. What was your first game? How old were you?
23.
He's 24 years old, dude. But you got to figure it out now, right? Get these habits out of your head. Get everything out of your head. But
yeah, dude. Also, too, it makes me think of Kelnick out there with the Mariners, dude. You're talking about turning it on. He came up. He was in the big trade for Cano, the number one prospect. Everyone's like, oh, they traded, Kelnick. He goes to Seattle, and he's nothing but struggled these last couple years, year and a half. Dude, his process is different. He got a different bat this offseason. He got a couple mental performance coaches. If you don't think that's important, kids, I think again, it's a really big deal. Got another mental performance coach. Next thing you know, dude, look at his consistency. Look at him driving the ball at the ballpark. What's changed? Okay, maybe a little bit on his loads, a little lower, his leg kicks a little higher. That doesn't make you a consistent great player. I'd like to see Kelnick have a great year, and I think more than anything, he's changed his thought process mentally for himself to not ride the waves of the ups and the downs, and you're not as good. You're never as good as you think you are, never as bad as you think you are. You got to find a way to ride that emotional wave in this game, and it's a tough thing to do. It's a skill. And when I look at Kelnick, you talked about Soto, being how old he is. Well, Kelnick's, I think, 22, 23, something like that. And I love to see a guy like this where they're saying you're almost writing him off like, hey man, this guy hadn't figured out. No, he's figuring it out now. More of a mental thing than it is a physical thing with Kelnick. And I love it because I got a chance to coach him at the Futures game. Great kid, and now you're getting to see him make some adjustments after going through the ups and the downs of this game.
I love that. Good stuff. Dude, you've coached some great players, man, in these little things you do. It's pretty cool.
Love it, dude.
It's cool to follow them afterwards. Hey, let's head back over to the East Side. Let's go AL East. The Jays, we love. By the way, Garrett Cole shoved. Cole looks like the number one in the American League right now. Give me actually a little AL East because the Red Sox are interesting at 8-8 too.
Well, okay, so I picked Cole to be the Cy Young on MLB Network, so I hope that happens because that makes me look real good. Yeah, baby.
Yeah.
I think the biggest thing with Cole is keep the ball in the ballpark. He gave it the most home runs last year, so keep the ball in the ballpark. He does it. He's doing a great job throwing his changeup more. He's getting the eye levels up and down. So far, so good for Garrett Cole. 4-0 dominating. I think a .45 ERA, something ridiculous. He's been dominant. The Rays going to Toronto. 13-0, trying to set the record of 14-0. And I don't know if you watched that game change. It was on MLB Network. The Jays came out banging out the gates, really just getting after it. Barrios pitched a nice game. The Blue Jays are for real because when you see them stacked up against the Rays won one of those 3 games, but the Blue Jays, top to bottom, man, especially that lineup. Kiermaier in center field makes such a difference for that team.
Yeah.
Kiermaier and Barshow made some great plays. Remember I said – they got 3 center fielders in the outfield there. Springer, Kiermaier, and Barshow. Dude, nothing lands out there. So that makes that pitching staff so much better. By the way, Mark Shapiro, nice job, brother, with the way the field looks, the new stadium, the bullpens are out there in the outfield, the way the field jets out. It's a great look. So the Blue Jays are for real, man. And Alek Manoah hasn't pitched well at all, and he's gonna. So fun. That AL East is loaded, dude. The Orioles are legit, and the Sox are right there at 500.
Yeah.
That's going to be a big division again.
MLB.com does a power rankings each week, and after this weekend with the Blue Jays and Rays, they have the Braves is the number 1 team, which I'll give them. They have the best record, second best record in baseball. But then it goes Rays, Jays, Yankees. That division, and like you said, the Orioles are no joke, 9-7, and the Red Sox are back to 8-8. I mean, pretty cool stuff. And by the way, we joked about it, but the Blue Jays got a horribly long road trip out of the way to start the season. Don't forget that. Remember, we were like, 10, what 10 are they days. Doing? Yeah. They got one of those out of the way. How cool is that? That's got to be really important for you as a player. Like, boom, check it off the box. It's
so important. You know what you think of, too? You're at spring training the whole time. Then you come and you're on the road. You're like, all right, this is cool. We haven't been home yet anyhow. Might as well get a 10-game road trip out of the way before we get to home and, waiting for that park to be ready. But, man, the Blue Jays – everything they're doing right now is great.
Yeah, and the other cool thing about that, you mentioned Shapiro and what they did and how they made that facility so great. It's like having to rent a hotel room because you're about to move into your brand new house. So they probably had a little extra excitement on it, like it's gonna be worth it. It's gonna be worth it. And they get back there and boom, there you go.
There's no doubt, dude. There's no doubt. It's funny you said that. I got guys in the kitchen right now taking the cabinets off because we're part of the thing. I'm like, take them off, gentlemen. Get the new paint on there. Let's get a new kitchen coming in soon. So I feel the same way the Blue Jays do.
What's Macy think of the people walking around the house? Does she care or she don't care?
She's on the back. She goes to the back porch, the Montana room. She snuggles up in the middle, takes the 3 legs. She kind of looks at you. Bam, she drops, puts her head down. It's a little chilly out there today, but she'll sit there all day. She won't go pee or poop. You have to be like, you got to go outside. You got to get out of here.
That's funny. That's how my Macy is. That's the exact same way she is, my dog. Funny. Right. Not Bella. Bella eating shit all over the house, whatever bark. She's actually sleeping right now. I don't want her to hear her name. Anyway, all right. We'll get back to the guys. You got those guys doing this. You're gonna go buy wood.
I got buy wood. I got wood. I gotta go to Grilly's house, steal his wood.
How you gonna get it in? Who's gonna transport it? That stuff's not. It's heavy wood.
I got my buddy owns this company. My buddy Todd Anderson. Company called Junk Joey's. Dude, Oh, it is an unbelievable story.
Go.
If you need anything, minus maybe putting a body in the ground, he might do that for you. I don't know if he will, but this guy, Todd Anderson's the greatest. This guy's one of my really good buddies. Started this company called Junk Joey's. They basically do anything. Like they'll burn a barn down. They just. My son Andrew and Jake worked them for one summer. Dude, they were working the whole day, just knocking holes in walls and all this stuff. But Anderson told me a story the other day, bro. He goes, his buddy called him. He's like, hey man, listen. He goes, this guy had a farm. He's like, dude, he's like, you're the only guy I thought to call. He's like the cooler. He's like the cooler for Vegas. Yeah. But it's like, this farmer calls him. He's like, he's like, hey man, he's like, we couldn't find one of our cows. He's like, turns out the cow went through the freaking, like they put him in the barn. Bam, he went through the wood into the feed, right? And he suffocated himself because he couldn't move. He was on the side. He's like, move. Oh. And he couldn't get out. He couldn't get out of there. Dude, so they called Todd Anderson to bury the cow. So he goes in, he grabs the cow. He says that like they got this thing. I mean, how would you ever do this? They're pulling this cow out, and they grab him out, and he said he was like, I guess cows fill up full of gas. They just keep filling up full of gas. You so they had to like poke some holes in them to get the gas out, and then they buried the cow. I don't know, man. I'm just relaying the message. I've never heard of that in my life. But if you ever want to bury a cow, Todd Anderson, Junk Joey's. If you're in the Pittsburgh area, call him.
You live in Pittsburgh, or do you live in like the middle of Arcane, Texas, or something like that? What the fuck? Burning wood, bugs, and stabbing cows' gas out of them.
Dude.
What the hell? I love it. Can't wait to come visit.
I don't think that meat was good. I don't think the meat was good.
I can't. Yeah. You guys want some gas meat?
If you want to start ripping them in an epic rate, eat this cow.
All right, well, go get after that stuff. Hopefully no more cows fall through.
All right, brother. Dude, hey, listen. Happy
Is it bad
Monday.
that I feel bad? I feel bad for the cow. I felt bad for the cow.
Well, dude, he was dead.
However, I will eat a bacon double cheeseburger without even batting an eye.
Yeah, you're not thinking twice about just going to Wendy's right now and crushing one.
Anyway, all right, so get after it, man.
All right, man. All right, brother. Happy Monday, Chich. And everyone out there, thanks for listening. We'll see you guys tomorrow. See you, buddy.
See you.